Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Wow, that's kind of an obvious title. Friday the 13th, Part 8 is when the filmmakers decided, okay, we need to move Jason out of Crystal Lake and try to put him in a different location, because let's face it, this franchise is getting really tired and we need to do something different with it, other than introducing telekinetic women. So what did they do? They decided to move him to the city. Honestly, this is the guilty pleasure for me in the Friday the 13th franchise, simply because, well, it still has Kane Hodder, and he's still really good as Jason. The environment is now very different, and the story takes a different approach, because he goes to New York City. By the way, he never actually goes to Manhattan. And on top of that, I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting story, I suppose. The kills, once again, are way over the top and just entertaining. It's just the hard part about this movie is that you really, really, really do not care about the characters. They are literally the most stock characters you could possibly put in a horror movie. And that's saying something. We're at Part 8 of Friday the 13th. So the movie starts with two teens going to Camp Crystal Lake, where, of course, they're about to do the dirty, where the guy starts telling his girlfriend about the legend of Jason Voorhees at Crystal Lake, and basically just reruns the whole story about how he killed everybody, and how his mother was the source of it all, and blah blah blah, and all that fun jazz.
His mother blamed the counselors for her son's death, and she tried to kill them all, but she got her head chopped off by one of them.
The anchor somehow runs into an electrical underwater wire, tugs on it too much, sends electrical currents to Jason Voorhees, and wakes him up. Alright. Lo and behold, Jason finds his mask and then kills the two teens, because that's what he does best. Jason takes his boat to the ocean. I didn't know Camp Crystal Lake was attached to the ocean. Interesting. Whatever. We're introduced to the characters of the movie. Once again, all stupid teens graduating from high school, and now they're looking into college and all that other fun jazz. And apparently they are on this special class trip to go to New York City as part of their graduating class. Jason winds up getting on board the ship, and this is where we literally spend most of the freaking movie. The movie is called Jason Takes Manhattan. You would probably at least guess from the title that most of the movie would take place in New York City, at the very least. Maybe not all Manhattan, you know, they might go to different parts of New York City, but at least it would be in New York City. Fun fact about the movie, the reason why there's no scenes of New York City other than the shot of Times Square is because it's way too expensive to shoot in New York City, so they had to, you know, basically just cut their losses and basically just film small parts that basically showed that they were actually in New York City. All the other shots of them being in New York City are in a completely different city, simply because it was cheaper. So one by one, Jason goes off and kills all the kids, where a big storm comes in, and he winds up killing off the crew as well as the kids.
Oh yeah, here comes Kool-Aid, here comes Kool-Aid, gonna save the day. Here comes Kool-Aid, I'm gonna chase your thirst away.
The characters that wind up escaping are two of the adults, one of them being the main girl's uncle, main girl's love interest, and some random black guy. And then, of course, you know, Jason Voorhees obviously survives the storm, and they all wind up in New York City. Now, honestly, this is when the movie starts to have a little bit of fun with itself, because we've never seen Jason in a city-like environment before. I mean, what kind of shenanigans could he actually get up to? To be honest, he doesn't get up to a lot, but some of the interactions that he has with people in the city are honestly pretty dang funny. There's this one scene where he actually saves the main girl character by killing these two druggies who kidnapped her, which I'm just like, yeah, go Jason! Go superhero Jason! Oh, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be cheering you. And honestly, there's this one other scene which I just absolutely love, and it's probably one of my favorite kills in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. Jason winds up chasing down all the characters again, where he chases down the black guy who is a boxer in the movie. Basically, they're on this rooftop. Jason is just staring him down. The guy is just like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take you on now. So he just keeps punching him and punching him and punching him. This scene literally goes on for almost over a minute. Maybe it's a little bit long, but it's just funny watching him constantly punching Jason, and Jason basically has no reaction other than, wow, you really suck at punching. The guy's like all tired, and he's like,
Take your best shot.
Jason literally punches his head clean off. Like, what the heck? And it lands in the dumpster. It's like, how more funny can you get than that? There's another scene when Jason is actually chasing down the two main characters through a subway. I'm just like wondering to myself, does anyone notice Jason just walking through the subway? Like the fact that he's possibly chasing down these two kids who are running away from him? No? Okay, whatever. It's New York City. This is normal. After escaping from Jason and supposedly killing him by throwing him onto the rail tracks where he gets electrocuted, don't you know that only makes Jason stronger? We finally have our first shot of New York City. Actually, that's a lie. They did show the Statue of Liberty, but, well, the actual New York City, where they're in Times Square, and it's really funny. There's actually a promotional poster of Batman that came out around the same time, and it's the one that has Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. It's a kind of a cool, shot. It's like, okay, they are actually in New York City, so it is kind of cool. So our heroes start walking away when who should show up but Jason? Now, this is a really cool shot. This is honestly what the fans were expecting from this movie. They wanted Jason in Manhattan. They wanted him in New York City, just wreaking havoc. This shot of him just like looking around like, wow, I'm certainly not in Crystal Lake anymore, Toto. It's just so cool. And he's just looking around like Times Square like, what the hell is this? So of course our heroes see him and he starts to chase them down again, where this is probably one of my favorite scenes from the movie. Kane Hodder just does such a great job. Jason basically winds up passing these stupid punk teenagers where he literally just kicks their radio.
You're a dead meat slime bag.
Where Jason just turns around, shows them his very ugly face at this point, and they're just like,
Yo, man, it's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
I mean, he doesn't even kill them. He just scares the living bejeebus out of them. It's a great scene. Another scene that I really love from this movie, our heroes are trying to escape Jason. They go into this little, like, pub, cafe kind of place where, they're trying to call the police. Everyone's just basically ignoring them, like, oh, welcome to New York City, where crime is rampant, and we're all okay with that.
Welcome to New York.
Of course, Jason shows up, where basically, like, the strongman cook shows up and he tries to, send Jason out, where Jason just literally takes him by the lapels, throws him into a mirror, and then just walks out. Yeah, don't mess with me or I'll kick your freaking butts. It's another really great, memorable scene of the movie. So finally they escape from Jason, and then they go down to the sewers, where I'm expecting the Ninja Turtles will show up eventually. Hey, it's New York City, where they're basically just trying to escape, and they get lost in this maze of the sewer. They're about to escape, where Jason is basically about to grab them and about to kill them, when basically this ginormous tidal wave of the sewer comes, knocks Jason off the ladder. I guess it just melts him down and turns him into a little kid. Wait, what? Okay, number 7, you had me with the most confusing what the hell ending. And number 8, you just decided to go ahead and beat it with literally what the hell happened? Apparently, according to the director, they literally thought this was going to be the last movie. So they wanted, I guess, to try and show that Jason is finally uncursed, which somehow Toxic Waste fixed that. Anyway, this ending, just like number 7, is so dumb. There are better ways to get rid of Jason. Honestly, my favorite way to get rid of Jason still comes from number 6, where he just like wraps the chain around him and leaves him in the lake. That's literally the best ending of the franchise. After that, they're literally just trying to come up with random ways to kill Jason, and it's so stupid. Anyway, they escape, and yeah, they're all happy, whatever, and they go off to live their merry lives. End of part 8. Once again, there's nothing really new introduced into this movie, other than the fact that he goes to New York City for 15 minutes. Kane Hodder is amazing as Jason. He adds a lot of really great personality to the character. Honestly, I understand why fans don't like part 8. It's still my guilty pleasure favorite. I still think it's fun, especially the ending, where he's in New York City, except for the climax of the movie. We still got 4 more movies left. We're almost there. Hang in with me. This has been the Valley of Death, where everything is spooky, but we keep things light. I'll see you guys later.